All right. Welcome back to Argus. This is episode 4. We got Behind the Legends already reaching out to us. However, in the last video, a few things happened. Betty snuck into her father's practice to try to find a eye scooper or eye taker out of the face, to basically a tool that eliminates eyesight, right? It's one of the ingredients that we need, or one of the objects that we need to defeat Argus or banish Argus, or who knows, maybe the unknown needs them to control Argus. We're not too sure yet, but I can see how they could both be used to either banish or control Argus. Also, Jenni was collecting one of the objects, the dirt of the dead or whatever it was called, and essentially went to a cemetery and grabbed some dirt from a grave. In the process of grabbing that dirt from that grave, she stumbled upon a headstone that had her name on it. Is that a little bit of insight to what might happen to her soon? The crazy things started to happen to Jenni while she's in the cemetery, and then the headstone changed from Jenni's name to Gabrielle and Quentin, who we all know from the sign. Gabrielle and Quentin were brother and sister, and they died in the sign from Sabrina when they were not able to, solve her murder within, what was it, like 7 days or something like that. Shadow reached out to us and to give us more information on Ace, or the lack of information on Ace, was not able to figure out anything about Ace. And then Ace reached out to us as well to talk to us more about Argus and the theories and all of the supernatural stuff. Really, haven't really gotten much in the way of extinguishing Argus or banishing or defeating Argus, other than the fact that Jenni has dirt and Betty is trying to get the eye scooper. Oh, and Betty got caught, I think, by her father. I think. I don't know. We told Betty to hide, but then Betty was like, "I'm not hiding anymore. I'm gonna fess up," and I have a feeling that's not going to be good. Dad is going to tell Betty to not hang out with her friends no more. And then how are we supposed to get the eye scooper out her? We're just gonna have to grab a spoon. That would work, right? A spoon? I don't know. Either way, let's go ahead and dive right back into the story. Let's talk with Behind the Legends with Tim. Tim says, "Hi, tongue-tied. Actually, I was just about to grumble again. It wasn't cool that you didn't tell me about the bodies in Westbrook. I'm dropping everything to help your group, but that's water under the bridge now. I know very well what it's like to fear for one's life. That's why I will stand by you to the bitter end." And you know what? Tim's got a point here. Tim's been telling us everything that he's come across during this investigation, and every time we come across something, now granted we might be busy at the time, trying to help Ben and Caro, or should I say Unknown and Caro, get out of that cave because they were being chased by Argus. Instead of doing that, maybe we should have reached out to Tim and told Tim about the bodies in Westbrook. But I don't know. I mean, we definitely are hiding a lot of information from Tim, but I think it's kind of like, it's like a second thought. It's like we're running for our lives, or we're trying to help our friends get out with their lives, and then once that's all said and done, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot, I'm supposed to tell Tim about it. You're a second thought, Tim. We're working with what we're dealing with at this point in time, and that's trying to not die. And then the fact that we need to spread this information and share this information with you, Tim, a little bit on the back burner. Just a little bit of a second thought. And yeah, in the event of all the adrenaline rush and the adrenaline dumping that we're experiencing, trying to not die, Tim, we might forget to share some information with you. But you know what? Like you said, it's all water under the bridge now. I'm sorry again, Tim. Get over it. That's what I pretty much, in long story short, that's pretty much what I said, was basically just get over it. But look, you just have to get over it, Tim. You know, we're dealing with stuff right now. I didn't mean that. I thought that was. Oh, my bad, Tim. I didn't mean it. I thought the tongue sticking out and the smile was more of like a joke. I thought it was gonna be. I thought he was gonna take it as a joke, like just get over it. Like but he didn't like that. He was very upset about that. Really have to see how I'm going to continue with my channel. My inbox is swamped with messages. Take a look at this. That's a friend of mine who is also curious about when I'll continue.
Hi, Tim. Long time no see. Glad to be in contact. Been reading your blog. Delighted that you've got together with Anna. I have been following your blog. I do wonder, rather, what you've got yourself into this time. What with all that Dr. Crow malarkey and then Argus now. I've been following events as closely as I can, but what with the difficulties of having to keep sort of quiet. But if you need help, just get in touch, okay? Bye.
I didn't realize Tim was friends with Santa Claus. That's cool. I wish I could be friends with Santa Claus. I bet you get really good gifts if you're friends with Santa Claus. You know, all the gifts I got were coal. But you know what? Jokes on Santa Claus. That's what kept me warm in the middle of the night. You know, all the coal that I got. That's what that's what kept me warm. Oh, Bernd was always one of my favorite characters. So this is the German Bernd. So our Bernd was a different Bernd in the English version of the sign. Right? Bernd? Yeah, but I think we had a Bernd. I think our Bernd was different, wasn't it? I'm trying to remember what. Yeah, Bernd was from the sign. He was the professor. I'm pretty sure. So our Bernd in the English version was a little bit different, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong or not, or if I'm way off. I can't remember, but I think this was the Bernd for the German one, I think. I could be off. I don't know. Either way, premium chat option. Bernd was always one of my favorite characters. Tim's gonna be like, no, that's not Bernd. Who's Bernd? Ooh, Charlie. Charlie is back. Give me Charlie. Well, look, there we go. We got the author's chat. We got Charlie. Well done, tongue-tied. I can always count on you. You find the author's chat every time. Still chaos here. Oh, evil Hans. Did Evil's Hans picture get fixed? Did not. Did not not get fixed. That's okay. Yeah, it doesn't pull it up. That's all right. That's all right. Evil Hans. I don't know what Evil Hans sounds like. I do know what Charlie sounds like. I'm pretty good at doing the Charlie voice, given the fact that I actually voiced Charlie in the game. But I don't know. I don't really know how Hans would sound. Would he be way robotic? I have no idea. Would he have like, you know, is he so advanced that he actually has a normal voice? I have no idea. But he says Daniel got his memory back in the last episode, but Tim and Carson proved to be more difficult. Nice to be back. Have you made any progress? This is my first author's chat. What happened? No, we definitely have seen every single author's chat. And but yeah, we got Daniel's memory back, but Tim and Carson haven't gotten their memory back yet. But yeah, have you made any progress yet? Yeah, we definitely did. And Hans is like, nah, we didn't, Charlie. We did not make any progress. It won't work without you, TT. I thought about bringing back Tim at first, but this guy is difficult. That's why we're trying Karsten first. Karsten has an extremely complex personality. Many of Reality Games' characters were created by him. Me too, by the way. So Hans was created by Karsten. Well, I wonder. I'm sure Charlie, right? Probably. I would imagine. Who? Oh, well, we're about to find out who invented Charlie. Who invented Charlie? I didn't know that. Where's Daniel? I'm not too worried about Daniel right now. I need to find out who invented Charlie. Was it Karsten? Was it Tim? Who knows? Nobody invented me. I'm always everywhere and nowhere. Back to the point. Of course, I also know which Reality Games character Karsten is particularly fond of. That can only be me. Sorry, Charlie, but no. Oh, wait. No, that's... sorry, Charlie, but no. That's actually me, says Hans. And Charlie gives a big eye roll. We all know that Charlie is everyone's favorite character over Hans. It doesn't matter how many polls you put out there. We all know that it's Charlie over Hans. It's plain and simple. Plain and simple. I mean, it's the easiest way to figure it out. You just know. And really, anybody that picks Hans over Charlie, they're only saying it because, actually, I don't know why they would say it. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense why you would pick Hans over Charlie. Especially, I mean, Hans, you don't know if you're dealing with evil Hans or good Hans. And Hans, everybody's always like, oh, Hans sacrificed himself to save us. Not really, though. Not really. I think Hans was just being selfish. Hans wanted to be everybody's hero and just did things in a selfish manner. And Charlie was the one that was trying to help, make sure that nobody was going to suffer. Charlie was the one trying to get everybody out of the suffering. Hans is keeping everybody in the suffering. Like that's really what it was. It's really what it was. Charlie is our best friend. Hans never even said anything about being our best friend. Hans actually gave up on us. That's what Hans. Hans says, have you actually played our old games, Tongue-Tied? I'm talking primarily about the sign and the healing. I'm the secret star in them. No, you're not, Hans. Charlie's the secret star in them. Of course I played them. Sorry, it doesn't ring a bell. I've only played sign. I've only played the healing. Of course I've played them, but you're not the secret star in any of them, Hans. It's all Charlie. Even in the sign, even though Charlie wasn't part of the sign, you know for a fact that Charlie would have been the star of the sign. Oh, you have good taste. What I was getting at, Karsten has put a lot of love into my chats and pictures. It would be a real shame if someone were to destroy this love. I have a bad feeling about this. But unfortunately, that's exactly what we have to do. I can help with that. The aim is to deface you as much as possible. This is the best day at work in my life. Oh dear. I'm already regretting it, but it could really help Karsten. See, look, Super Hans, he's so in your face about it. He just wants to be the favorite. He wants everyone to love him, and he's just too much. Where Charlie doesn't even have to try. Charlie doesn't even have to try, and you just already love Charlie. Hans has to try. He has to ask and beg for your love just to like him. Like, Charlie doesn't have to ask or beg for anything. You just already do. You just love Charlie, and Charlie doesn't even need to ask for it. Hans has to ask for it. Hans has to put it out there like, oh, I'm the star. Oh, Super Hans. Hans in luck. Which one should Charlie ruin? Oh, which one? We gotta ruin Super Hans. I feel like we have to ruin Super Hans. May Hans be with you. We gotta ruin Super Hans. It's gotta be, right? Let's ruin Super. Maybe we can ruin all of them. Now it's my turn. Let's go. Yep. It's no longer Super Hans. Now it's Stupid Hans. Oh God, what have you done? Looks better than before. That will not look. It looks better than before. He grew so much hair. Right? In another universe, I would have been a stylist. Here's Karsten. What's this funny picture? That's exactly the point. Daniel says, what? That's right. That's the point. Oh, yes, says Hans. Daniel is super confused. And it seems to work. Pick another picture, TT. Oh, you got it. Yeah, Jedi Hans. Let's do it. Let's... This is proof that me and Charlie are one and the same. I said let's do it, and Charlie says let's do it. Oh, that's actually really cool. I actually really like this one. See, if this was actually Hans, I'd be more in favor of Hans, but it's not. This is Charlie's version of Hans, and something's happening. No, this is all completely wrong. Hans needs love. See, Charlie doesn't need love. You just automatically do love him. Hans needs it. And that's why Charlie's better. This new Hans is just stupid. This is the best Hans I've ever seen in my entire life. Ever since I've been alive, this is the best Hans. That is such a good Hans. Charlie could make a better Hans than anyone out there. We should have just let Charlie make Hans. That is such a good Hans. Can you remember everything again, Carson, so it really worked? Let's continue with the game again. Let me just ask Carson if he remembers. That's such a good Hans. My memories are slowly coming back. What has Tim done this time? Can we look at the other two pictures? I want to see how Charlie changes the other ones now. But nice to see the real Hans is here. Always at your service. Oh, gag me. 2 are healed, 1 more to go. We still have a lot to prepare for Tim. You'll continue with Argus for now, tongue-tied. All right. Back to Behind the Legends with Tim. That was, I loved the second Hans. The first Hans was kind of goofy. Second Hans, so good. Loved that one. Now I kind of wish I knew what the other 2 Hans looked like. So his name is Bernd, by the way, and he was involved in a similar case with me a while ago. Yeah, I already knew that. As soon as everything is over, you can report exclusively on your blog. We have other things to worry about right now than your blog. Look, he seems nice. And he is. Jenni. Is Jenni still in the cemetery, or did she make it out? I feel like she might still be in the cemetery. Jenni says, guys, I'm still hiding behind that. Oh, we had her hide in one of those like mausoleum type things. Some kind of house or whatever. It was probably a good idea to hide here, TT. I can't see Argus anymore. See, I knew it was a good spot for you to hide. See, I'm not trying to get anybody killed. You know, I'm trying to save the world. We thought the same thing in the catacombs too, but it was still there, waiting for us in the dark. Thanks, my whole body is shaking already. But I can no longer crouch here and wait. You should wait a little longer, Jenni. How sure are you that Argus is gone? Jenni is right. She can't wait there forever. I don't know. Maybe just wait a little bit longer, Jenni. You seem to be somewhat safe right now. Unless Argus is like standing right there with you. Who knows? No, we need the soil and I can't take any more of this. Please pray for me that this monster is gone. So, look, if Jenni dies, not my fault. Not my fault. I told Jenni to wait a little bit longer and Jenni said no. And now Ben's like, fuck, now I got to go kill her. Like, I have a real stomach ache right now. Let's talk about the other parts of the ritual as a distraction. Has Nico already replied to TT? Does he have any idea about the Mindbender's sacred object? So why would you want us, Ben, to ignore what's going on right now? Why do you want us to have a distraction? So I can go talk to Nico about the Mindbender and you can go try to take out Jenni because, you know, she's got the dirt from the dead or whatever it is. The soil of death. But look, Nico hasn't replied, Ben. Ben's trying to distract us because Ben is unknown and Ben wants us to be distracted while he pulls off his evil stuff. Crap, let's give him a few more minutes or we'll have to think of something else. Betty, how are things with your father? Ooh, probably not great. Will he give us one of his medical utensils? An eye scooper. She's still offline, Ben. That's going great. Is that a good or bad sign? Probably a bad sign. It all depends on Betty's persuasive skills. It's probably a super bad sign. Jenni's back online. Jenni's about to get attacked.
I'm at the other end of the cemetery now. It's pretty run down. There must be an exit somewhere.
Yeah, Fox, Jenni.
What's going on here? What's happening?
I told you, Jenni. I told you to wait just a few more minutes. And now you're Argus food. Did you hear? Argus was just chomping down on Jenni. Probably chomped down right on her face. But then there was somebody in the background. This is like, what is it? Probably a groundskeeper. We're like talking about what's going on over here. About to find Jenni's like half-eaten body. I told Jenni to wait a few more minutes and she didn't listen. This is what happens when you don't listen to Tongue-Tied. You stick with me, you go places. You don't listen to me, Argus will eat you. You got her. You got her. There's nothing we can do about it. Now we gotta send somebody else to go get the soil of the death or whatever it is. Fuck, Jenni. What the hell's happening? Argus has Jenni. There was something else, a voice, just before the call was cut off. Hello, this is Pastor Sartoris. And now the pastor has Jenni's phone because Jenni was just mauled by Ben, probably. Argus has Jenni. Ben meant to say he has Jenni. Oh my God, what happened? What's going on? Who are you? How did you get the cell phone? Yeah, what happened? What happened? Pastor Sartoris. No time for long explanations. We're not asking for a long explanation. What happened to Jenni? I was just in the parish when I heard noise outside. There was a seriously injured young woman lying on the lawn. Next to her was a cell phone with this chat open on it. No, please. This is our friend Jenni. How bad is it? You should know, Ben. I bandaged the wounds as best as I could and called an ambulance, but I won't lie to you. She's bleeding pretty badly. Some wild animal must have attacked her. I probably scared it away by showing up. Probably not. I don't think you would scare away. Well, maybe. He's a pastor Sartoris, so he's the man of the cloth. Maybe it would scare away Argus. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know if Argus is afraid of church or religion. I have no idea. Where did it go? Is Jenni responsive? How long does the ambulance take? Were you able to recognize the animal? Look, is Jenni? We need to find out how Jenni is doing. No, not at the moment. She is breathing very frantically. Listen, I have to take care of your friend now. I'll get back to you as soon as the ambulance is here. Thank you. Please take good care of Jenni. Be careful. It might come back. I'm just going to say thank you. I don't need to tell him to take care of Jenni because it seems like the pastor's taking care of Jenni. That goes without saying. Pray for your friend. I think the pastor thought I said, please take care of Jenni. And that's why the pastor said that goes without saying. But for me to say thank you and then the pastor says that goes without saying doesn't seem right. It's like somebody says thank you and like that goes without saying. Professor Fontaine, I just spent almost 30 minutes thinking about how to start this message. I still have no words for what happened to your friends and me. I'm so happy you're okay. Nice to hear from you, Professor. I suppose I'm happy that you're okay, Professor Fontaine. You're probably still in shock though with what was happening between you, Ben, and Carl. I think even Professor Fontaine was it Fontaine that got possessed, or was it just Carl and Ben? I know Ben got possessed in that hotel, but I can't remember if Fontaine was possessed also. Physically, yes. Thanks to you and your friends, I went to Westbrook with the idea of being able to view spectacular finds there in order to advance my research work. Instead, my life was turned upside down, including everything I ever thought possible. The deity from my research that you call Argus, it really exists. If you ever need support, please reach out. As a matter of fact, Professor Fontaine, we might need your support right now. We're all part of this madness now. Yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You should think about yourself for now. We'll definitely come back to that. Look, I appreciate it, Fontaine. But yeah, we could definitely use your help, without a doubt. Goodness, take a look at this. The press has already gotten wind of the events in Westbrook. Oh no. Breaking news. Horror in Westbrook. Entire village wiped out. Mysterious deaths shake the community. How do they not know that an entire community has been wiped out? Like, nobody knew anybody that lived there. Nobody knew, nobody realized that they just didn't see these individuals anymore. The entire community. What a headline. It was only a matter of time before this became public and absolutely insane what happened in Westbrook. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane what happened in Westbrook. And the fact that, they went there and, Vanessa Thomas was, alive, but, wasn't, because Vanessa Thomas was just skeleton. But they saw the Vanessa Thomas. Shoot, we saw Vanessa Thomas on the phone. When they were recording, she opened up the door and she was right there. You're right about that. It's still hard for me to realize that the deity wiped out an entire village. My offer stands. Contact me if I can help. I think I saw Betty pop up. Oh, Betty. 29-second voice message. Probably telling us that her daddy's not letting her play with us anymore. But we have an eye scooper.
Guys, my dad and I didn't even believe it was possible anymore. We talked a lot about Argus and the murderers, but also about Mom and how we drifted apart after she passed away. We haven't been this close for a long time. I'm so happy I could tell you so much more. But the most important thing is, I got it. I've got the object to remove eyes.
The object to remove eyes. I don't think that necessarily removes eyes as much as it peels the eyelids open and holds the eyelids open. But if you can hold the eyelids open, then the object to remove eyes could potentially just be your fingers. Speaking of fingers, I don't think that's Betty's fingers in the picture. Details, little details. I'm so happy for you and your dad. What exactly is this thing? That's great, Betty. Look, I'm also happy, but it seems like maybe Betty's dad knows a bit about Argus, or was actually or willing to or open to learning more about Argus and open to what Betty is going through. Look, what is that thing that you have in not your hand? An eyelid lock. Right, that's exactly what I thought it was. It's used to hold the eyelids in place so that the eye can be operated on or removed. Elias just gave you this thing. He believed you. At first, of course, he thought I was nuts. But the more I told him, the more he started to believe me. He thought of all the inexplicable injuries of the victims, how watched he felt at the crime scenes. I don't know if he believes everything we say, but we now have my dad on our side. Alicia says yes, and we have the first of 4 components for the ritual. The first one, Jenni should have arrived at the cemetery by now. Jenni was attacked and is in bad condition. You better read the chat history. Something bad happened to Jenni, Betty. Got attacked by Argus. Argus and Ben. Got attacked by one of them. Ben attacked Jenni at the cemetery. She's seriously injured. Just kidding. It says Argus. A priest was able to scare Argus away and called an ambulance. I don't know if that scared Argus at all. I can't imagine Argus being scared, but maybe. But look, it's not looking good. Got an ambulance on the way. Hopefully it gets there in time. Not too sure, how serious the injuries are to Jenni. Hello, this is Pastor Sartoris again. The ambulance arrived a few moments ago. So tell us, how's Jenni? Of course Ben would want to know. Needs to know if he needs to secure any loose lines, She was responsive for a moment, but then immediately lost consciousness again. She's being treated by 2 paramedics. Did she say anything when she was awake? Yes, now that you mention it, there really was something. She was mumbling something. She said the soil was in her backpack and it should be taken away from her. Or shouldn't be taken away from her. Does that help you? Yeah, we need the soil. No, sorry. Yes, it's important the soil is not taken from her. Is Pastor Sartoris to be trusted or not? Do we tell Pastor Sartoris anything about the soil? Look, I think we do. I think, yes, it's important. It's important soil. It's not to be taken from her. I don't quite understand. But it doesn't really matter at the moment. It's not there. It's not meant for you to understand, Sartoris. It's just there for you to just do what we tell you to. Just don't take the soil. Listen, the ambulance is now taking your friend to St. Peter's Hospital. I'll give the medics the cell phone and backpack. All right, thank you, Pastor Sartoris. You're welcome. I'll keep your friend in my prayers. All the best to you. Jenni is now offline. Do you think we should go to the hospital? I think you should stay away from Jenni, Ben. Jenni will certainly be in surgery as soon as she gets there anyway. We just sit around in the waiting room. No, but we need the backpack with the soil. Carl says Alicia's right. Besides, the best way to help Jenni is to focus on the ritual. And the soil is safe in the hospital for now. Ben says, I guess you're right. But I'll call the hospital. They should keep us informed about Jenni's condition. Good idea, Benny. I'll also feel better if one of you were waiting in the hospital. Who do we want wait? I kinda, but letting one of our people here wait at the hospital is just one extra person that's not able to help with getting the rest of the components to banish and destroy Argus. So what do we do? I don't know. But at the same time, like, Jenni's in a pretty bad situation. Like, anybody that's near Jenni could, unknown, whoever unknown is, Ben, if we don't have somebody watching over Jenni, Ben, unknown, might go and finish off Jenni. That's very possible. So look, we need somebody watching over Jenni. We can't allow unknown Ben to finish off what Argus started. As soon as we know more about Jenni's condition, we can talk about it again. And Ben says that's a plan. Nico. Hi, TT. What's up, Nico? So we're gonna end the video right there. We have a ton of stuff that happened in this video. First of all, most importantly, we got to see Charlie again. Least importantly, we got to see Hans again, but Charlie was able to really improve on Hans's appearance, especially with the Jedi Hans. That was really cool. Loved that. Jenni was attacked because Jenni didn't listen to Tongue Tied. That's the main reason why Jenni was attacked. If Jenni would have just listened to me, she wouldn't have turned into Argus bait. Luckily, Pastor Sartoris was there to help Jenni and get Jenni to the hospital and kind of patch her up a little bit and at least keep her somewhat still alive. Betty, on the other hand, Betty was able to kind of work things out with her father, which is awesome. They seem to be on a good path to rebuilding their relationship. And then she was able to get an eyelid lock, which is great. The tool to take out eyesight. That's awesome. So at the very least, we got one component of the 4. We almost had 2 components of the 4, but right now we got one component of the 4. And hopefully in the next video, we'll be able to talk to Nico and get the mask, because I'm pretty sure that's going to be the sacred object, not the sanctuary of a murderer or whatever it's called, but the sacred object is probably that mask for sure, 100%. I hope you guys are enjoying Argus as much as I am. Things are starting to really heat up right now. And if you have, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more content just like this. As always, thanks for watching. Love you all. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.